Listen to me very carefully. Your life does not begin on the outside. Your life begins on the inside. Before anyone speaks to you, there is a voice already speaking within you. Before anyone believes in you, there is a voice already deciding whether you are worthy or not. Before any door opens or closes, there is a voice inside you declaring victory or defeat. That voice is not small. That voice is not weak. That voice is not powerless. That voice is creating your future even now. Many of you are waiting for someone to change your life. You are waiting for help. You are waiting for opportunity. You are waiting for favor. But I tell you today, the greatest conversation that will ever change your life is not the one you have with others. It is the one you have with yourself. Because you can escape people, but you cannot escape yourself. You can avoid places, but you cannot avoid your own voice. Wherever you go, that voice goes with you. Some of you wake up in the morning, and the first thing you tell yourself is, I am tired. I am weak. I am not enough. Nothing will change. And you think these are just thoughts. You think these are just feelings. But you do not realize you are giving instructions to your future. You are programming your spirit for limitation. You are giving permission for defeat. What you say to yourself is not empty. What you say to yourself carries authority. Your ears are always listening to your own voice. Your spirit is always responding to your own words. Your life moves in the direction of the voice you believe the most. And the voice you hear the most is your own. That is why some people remain in the same place for years. It is not because they have no opportunity. It is not because they have no ability. It is because their inner voice has convinced them they cannot move forward. Their mouth has become a prison. Their words have become chains. Their confession has become their cage. But I came here to tell you today, chains can break, prisons can open, limitations can end, not by changing your location, but by changing your conversation with yourself. For 3 days, just 3 days, speak to yourself differently. Not based on what you see, but based on what you believe is possible. Not based on your past, but based on your purpose. Because your present condition is not your final conclusion. Some of you speak to yourself like an enemy. You condemn yourself. You remind yourself of your failures. You replay your mistakes again and again. You punish yourself with your own words. And then you wonder why you feel weak. You wonder why you feel heavy. You wonder why you cannot move forward. You cannot rise above the voice that is constantly pushing you down. If you call yourself weak, your strength will hide. If you call yourself defeated, your victory will remain silent. If you call yourself nothing, your potential will remain locked. But when you begin to speak life, something begins to awaken. Something begins to rise. Something begins to respond. Your spirit is listening. Your future is listening. Your destiny is listening. Some of you are waiting for encouragement from others, but you must become your own encourager. There will be moments when nobody claps for you. There will be moments when nobody believes in you. There will be moments when nobody stands with you. But you must learn to stand with yourself. You must learn to speak strength into your own bones. Say to yourself, I am not finished. I am not defeated. I am not forgotten. I am rising. Not because you feel it, but because you declare it. Because feelings follow words, actions follow beliefs, and results follow direction. When you change the way you speak to yourself, you change the direction of your life. For 3 days, refuse to insult yourself. For 3 days, refuse to call yourself weak. For 3 days, refuse to agree with fear. Instead, wake up and say, today I move forward. Today I grow stronger. Today I become better. Even if nothing around you changes immediately, something inside you will begin to shift. And when the inside shifts, the outside cannot remain the same forever. Your life responds to your inner authority. Many people are defeated before they even try because their inner voice has already told them they will fail. They carry defeat in their confession. They carry limitation in their declaration. But listen to me. You are not a victim of your past. You are not a prisoner of your mistakes. You are not defined by your lowest moment. You are defined by what you choose to believe now. When you begin to speak differently to yourself, your mind begins to see differently. Your spirit begins to stand differently. Your confidence begins to grow. Because your words are not just describing your reality. Your words are creating your reality. Some of you have been speaking darkness over your life for years, and now you are living in the shadow of your own words. But light can begin now. Freedom can begin now. Change can begin now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. For 3 days, guard your inner conversation. Protect your inner environment. Do not allow the voice of defeat to sit on the throne of your mind. When fear speaks, answer it with courage. When doubt speaks, answer it with faith. When weakness speaks, answer it with strength. Because you are not powerless over your inner voice. You are its authority. You decide what is allowed to stay. You decide what is allowed to grow. You decide what is allowed to lead. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant defeat, defeat will grow. If you plant victory, victory will grow. For 3 days, plant victory. Speak it when you wake up. Speak it when you walk. Speak it when you feel tired. Speak it when you feel afraid. Not because everything is easy, but because you are building something greater than your current situation. Some of you are waiting to feel confident before you speak confidently. But confidence does not come before declaration. Confidence comes after declaration. You must speak first. You must declare first. You must believe first. And then your life will begin to align with your words, because your spirit responds to authority, and your words carry authority. There is power in what you say to yourself when nobody else is listening. There is power in what you declare when you are alone. There is power in what you believe when everything around you looks impossible. Do not underestimate the conversation you have with yourself. It is shaping you. It is directing you. It is defining you. For 3 days, speak to yourself like someone who is chosen. Speak to yourself like someone who is rising. Speak to yourself like someone who is not finished. Tell yourself, I am moving forward. I am growing. I am becoming stronger than my past. Even if your voice shakes, speak. Even if your heart is heavy, speak. Even if your mind resists, speak. Because the moment you change your inner confession, you begin to change your inner condition. And when your inner condition changes, your outer condition will follow. Some of you are closer to breakthrough than you realize, but your inner voice keeps pulling you backward. Your fear keeps reminding you of yesterday. Your doubt keeps reminding you of failure. But your future is not asking about yesterday. Your future is responding to what you say today. If you say, I cannot, your future pauses. If you say, I will, your future begins to move. Your life listens to your voice. Do not use your voice to destroy yourself. Use your voice to build yourself. Do not use your voice to weaken yourself. Use your voice to strengthen yourself. Do not use your voice to imprison yourself. Use your voice to release yourself. For 3 days, speak life. For 3 days, speak strength. For 3 days, speak victory. And watch what begins to happen inside you. Your thoughts will begin to change. Your confidence will begin to grow. Your fear will begin to lose its grip. Because the voice that once defeated you is now empowering you. You are not the same person when you change the way you speak to yourself. You walk differently. You think differently. You act differently because you believe differently. And belief is the foundation of transformation. Listen to me. Your life is waiting for your permission to rise. Your future is waiting for your agreement. Your destiny is waiting for your declaration. For too long, you have agreed with limitation. For too long, you have agreed with fear. For too long, you have agreed with defeat. Now it is time to agree with possibility. Now it is time to agree with strength. Now it is time to agree with your rising. For 3 days, speak to yourself like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your words are not small. Your words are seeds. And the seeds you plant today will become the life you live tomorrow. Listen to me carefully. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not outside you. It is inside you. It is the battle between who you are now and who you refuse to remain. It is the battle between your old voice and your new voice. It is the battle between the version of you that accepts limitation and the version of you that rises above it. Many people are not defeated by their enemies. They are defeated by their agreement with their current identity. They have accepted weakness as permanent. They have accepted fear as normal. They have accepted delay as final. They have accepted less when they were created for more. And every day, their own voice reminds them to stay where they are. But listen to me. Change does not begin when your environment changes. Change begins when your conversation with yourself changes. Because you cannot become someone new while speaking to yourself like someone old. You cannot rise while constantly reminding yourself of why you should stay down. You cannot step into strength while constantly declaring weakness. The person who refuses to remain the same speaks differently. They do not speak based on comfort. They do not speak based on habit. They do not speak based on fear. They speak based on vision. They speak based on purpose. They speak based on the future they have decided to enter. Your life follows your identity, and your identity is shaped by your confession. Every time you say, "This is just who I am," you are either building a prison or building a pathway. Every time you say, "I will never change," you are closing the door to your own transformation. Every time you say, "This is impossible for me," you are giving power to limitation. But when you speak to yourself like someone who refuses to remain the same, something begins to shift. Something begins to break. Something begins to awaken inside you. Because your spirit recognizes the authority of your declaration. There is a version of you that is stronger than your current condition. There is a version of you that is wiser than your past decisions. There is a version of you that is waiting for permission to rise. But that version of you cannot emerge while you continue to agree with your old voice. You must speak like someone who is moving forward. You must speak like someone who is leaving weakness behind. You must speak like someone who has decided that staying the same is no longer acceptable. Some of you wake up and immediately remind yourself of your problems. You remind yourself of your fears. You remind yourself of your failures. And without realizing it, you are reinforcing the identity you claim you want to escape. You must stop introducing yourself to yourself as your past. You must stop reminding yourself of who you used to be. You must stop agreeing with the version of you that no longer serves your future. Because the moment you change how you speak to yourself, you begin to change who you become. Words are not empty. Words carry direction. Words carry power. Words carry authority. Your mind listens to what you say. Your spirit responds to what you declare. Your life moves toward what you consistently confess. If you say, "I am weak," your strength remains hidden. If you say, "I am stuck," your progress remains blocked. If you say, "I cannot change," your transformation remains delayed. But when you say, "I am rising," your spirit begins to move. When you say, "I am growing," your mind begins to align. When you say, "I refuse to remain the same," your identity begins to shift. Some people are waiting for motivation. Some people are waiting for confidence. Some people are waiting for proof before they speak differently. But proof follows declaration. Confidence follows confession. Change follows decision. You must decide first. You must speak first. You must declare first. Even when you do not feel ready, speak like someone who is becoming ready. Even when you do not feel strong, speak like someone who is becoming strong. Even when you do not see progress, speak like someone who is moving forward. Because your words are not describing your present. Your words are creating your future. The person who refuses to remain the same does not allow their current condition to define their confession. They speak beyond what they see. They speak beyond what they feel. They speak beyond what they have experienced. They understand that their voice is not just an expression. Their voice is an instrument of transformation. Some of you have been calling yourself the same name for years. You have called yourself broken. You have called yourself weak. You have called yourself incapable. And your life has been responding to the name you have given yourself. But today, you must begin to call yourself forward. Call yourself stronger. Call yourself wiser. Call yourself disciplined. Call yourself focused. Not because it is fully visible yet, but because you refuse to remain who you were. Your identity does not change by accident. Your identity changes by agreement. And agreement begins with what you say to yourself. If you continue to agree with your old limitations, you will continue to live your old life. If you begin to agree with your new potential, you will begin to enter your new life. There is power in speaking to yourself like someone who is evolving. There is power in speaking to yourself like someone who is growing. There is power in speaking to yourself like someone who has made a decision that staying the same is no longer an option. Because your spirit listens for direction. Your mind listens for instruction. Your future listens for permission. Do not give your future permission to remain small. Do not give your future permission to remain weak. Do not give your future permission to remain limited. Speak expansion. Speak growth. Speak movement. Some of you have been waiting for external change, but internal declaration is the beginning of external manifestation. When you begin to speak differently, you begin to think differently. When you begin to think differently, you begin to act differently. When you begin to act differently, you begin to live differently. Everything begins with your inner voice. Your inner voice is either keeping you where you are or taking you where you belong. You must train your voice to match your vision. You must train your confession to match your purpose. You must train your words to match your future, because you cannot arrive at a destination you refuse to declare. You cannot become someone you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot step into an identity you refuse to speak. The person who refuses to remain the same does not negotiate with their old self. They do not ask permission from fear. They do not ask approval from doubt. They declare their movement. They declare their growth. They declare their transformation, and their life begins to follow their declaration. Some of you are one decision away from becoming someone new. One decision to stop speaking weakness. One decision to stop agreeing with fear. One decision to stop reinforcing limitation. Your voice must become the bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. Every time you speak strength, you weaken fear. Every time you speak progress, you weaken stagnation. Every time you speak change, you weaken resistance. Because your words carry authority over your inner world. You must no longer speak to yourself like someone who is trapped. You must speak to yourself like someone who is rising. You must speak to yourself like someone who has decided that the past has no authority over the future. Because you are not your past decisions. You are not your past failures. You are not your past identity. You are who you decide to become now. And that decision is reinforced by what you say to yourself every day. Some people sabotage their own transformation because their voice keeps pulling them back. They speak change with their actions, but they speak defeat with their words. Your words and your future must agree. Your confession and your direction must align. Your voice and your vision must become one. Speak to yourself like someone who is advancing. Speak to yourself like someone who is evolving. Speak to yourself like someone who refuses to remain where they started. Because the moment you change your confession, you change your identity. And the moment you change your identity, you change your life. Your life is waiting for your voice to catch up with your purpose. Your future is waiting for your confession to match your calling. Your transformation is waiting for your agreement. You must stop asking if change is possible. You must start declaring that change is happening. Because the person who refuses to remain the same does not wait for evidence. They become the evidence. They become the proof. They become the manifestation of their own declaration. Speak to yourself like someone who is becoming unstoppable. Speak to yourself like someone who is leaving limitation behind. Speak to yourself like someone who has made a decision that there is no return to who they used to be. Because every word you speak is moving you closer to who you are becoming. And every declaration you make is shaping the person you refuse to remain.